All right, Algebra 1A students, welcome to part 3 of your video on lesson 5.4, where we're dealing with point-slope form of a linear equation. Tonight's video is going to be slightly more difficult than our last couple videos because we're going to be writing the equation of a line in point-slope form only given 2 points on that line. Okay, only given 2 points, not given anything else, but just 2 points. The first step for us, as it has been before, is going to be to find the slope. Okay, step 1 is going to be to find the slope. Now, in the example that I have here for you, they're looking at this line right over here, and they want us to find the slope. Okay, now all they give us is that there's this point, and then there's also this point. 1, 4 up here, 1 in the x, 4 in the y, -2 in the x, -3 in the y. So to find the slope, hopefully we can remember that we take the two y numbers and we subtract them. And that goes over the two x numbers subtracted. So let's look at what that equals. Well, my y numbers are 4 and -3. Okay? 4 minus -3. 4 minus -3. And my x numbers are 1 and a -2. So 1 minus -2. What we should realize here is that minusing a negative is like adding. So what I end up with is 7 over 3. 7 over 3. Okay? Because 4 minus -3 is like adding 3, and 1 minus -2 is like adding 2, so my slope ends up being 7 over 3. Okay, and now my second step is to pick one of my 2 points and use that to write my equation. Okay, step 2 is pick one point and write the equation. Okay, not equations, just equation. Because now I know my slope. And remember that my my point-slope form of a linear equation says y minus y1 equals m times, in parentheses, x minus x with a little 1 right there. Okay? So as you should recall from our first video on lesson 5.4, all I need to do to write this equation is simply replace this with a y coordinate, that with my slope, and that with an x coordinate. Okay? So I'm going to pick the point up here that has positive values. I'm going to pick this point right up here. And I'm going to plug those numbers for x and y into this equation. So the x is going to go in here in the parentheses, x minus 1 in parentheses. Okay, and the other side of my equal sign is going to say y minus 4. So that's on the other side of my equal sign. And it equals my slope, which comes from right up here, my first step. Okay, 7 over 3. Believe it or not, I'm finished. That is my final answer. My final equation is y minus 4 equals 7/3 times x minus 1 in parentheses. Okay. I'd like you to try one now without a graph. I'd like you to try to write for me, please, the equation for the line that goes through these 2 points, 4, 6 and -2, 2. Your first job, again, will be to find the slope. Then you can pick either one of these 2 points and write your equation from one of the points once you find the slope. Okay, so pause the video for a minute, at least find the slope for me between those 2 points. When you have the equation or you get stuck, come on back and I'll show you what we should have. Alright, my slope in this case, my y numbers are 6 and a 2. My x numbers are 4 and a -2. So the top 6 minus 2 is 4. The bottom 4 minus -2 is like adding, and that is 6. 4 over 6. 4 over 6 can be reduced. If I divide the top and bottom by 2, I get 2 and 3, 2 over 3. That's going to be my slope. Okay? And now I should be ready to write my equation. Y minus my y coordinate. I can pick either y coordinate I want. I'm going to pick this y coordinate right here, or that ordered pair xy, that point to use, which means I'm going to say y minus 6 because that's the y coordinate, equals, my slope comes next, 2 over 3 times in parentheses x minus 4, because 4 is my x coordinate to that point right there. Right? The 4 also comes from that red point up top. 6 and 4 come from 6 and 4 here, y and x. Okay? So this right here would be my final answer for an equation. I don't have to do any work at all. I can simply say, there you go, y minus 6 equals 2/3 parentheses x minus 4. I'm done with my equation. It has a starting point and a slope, and I'm done. Okay? If you have questions about writing point-slope form equations from 2 points, please make a note to ask me in class tomorrow. Otherwise, that's all I have for you. Have a wonderful night.